There are already canceled flights for today. For more on that story, we turn now to Ben Mutzabaugh, an editor at USA Today, who runs the Today in the Sky blog. He is in our Washington bureau. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So let's talk about that trickle down. Exactly what can people expect if they're flying anywhere in the nation today?
Yeah, that's right, especially if you're going through Chicago or Milwaukee. Today could be troublesome, but as we've seen yesterday, those delays can ripple out quickly. This morning, we have about 500 cancellations already before the schedule really even begins today at Chicago. That's about a quarter of their flight schedule there. And, you know, Midway looks a little better, at least so far. Milwaukee, we're seeing a fair amount of cancellations already. So I think like you said, call ahead with your airline if you're traveling today. If you have flexibility to change your travel plans, this might be a good time to consider doing it. But we are going to see probably less of a headache than yesterday, but it's not going to be normal today. Definitely in Chicago and also in places where this ripple effect goes out to affect other airports.
Ben, as one traveler pointed out at the beginning of our broadcast, it's pretty scary that one man could effectively shut down one of the nation's busiest travel corridors. And O'Hare is the busiest airport in the country. How concerned should we be?
Yeah, that's right. You know, when we saw those flight delay, the flight radar maps, there was that big hole over Chicago. And on a normal day, that looks like just basically a highway of airplanes going from the Northeast to the West Coast. There you see it. That's just normally a line of planes just en route. So that's, I think, what the narrative is going to turn to in the coming week, is how can one person have created such a catastrophic situation for airline schedules? And that's going to prompt conversations about how can we build redundancies, what do we need to do to heighten security at these facilities, if anything. What gets done, I think, remains to be seen, but I think that's definitely going to be the narrative in the week ahead.
In terms of just the dollar amount, how expensive will all of this be?
You know, I've seen some estimates where we put $50,000 on any given canceled flight. One thing I think we can safely say is this is going to cost airlines probably not millions of dollars, but tens of millions of dollars. If you think about all of the things that this has a knock-on effect for, if the airline chooses to pay for hotel and food for affected flyers, that's obviously a chunk of change. But what's really going to hit them is they have pilots, flight attendants, and aircraft out of place by the hundreds and thousands. So to put the pilots up in a hotel where they weren't supposed to be in, according to the schedule, same thing for aircrafts. This is really going to have a big effect in the bottom line of the airlines from this one event.
Ben Mutzabaugh with USA Today. Ben, thanks so much for being with us this morning.